Hi everyone, so we just got some juicy expansion details that I want to walk you through here. We also got a blog post that you can read up on. I'm gonna post this down in the description. There's also this inside the game video that I've released, like an 8-minute kind of like summary of a few of the new details. This was revealed at Gamescom that I'm actually headed to tonight as well, so I'll be staying 3 days there. Also probably gonna, record some stuff, do some stuff there, come back with hopefully more news, and we'll see what happens. But for now, there's a lot of stuff that they have shown us, and there will be more on the campfire chat on August 29th in 8 days from now. So save the date. There's going to be an even deeper dive, I suppose, with probably mid-season update for Season 5 and then expansion details. So what we got is a huge new feature. The Party Finder is coming. A few details about Season 6, a Paragon Rework. They didn't say that much about it, so I guess it's going to be next week. But the Dark Citadel, the new raid feature, they have shown us a few things. The Mercenaries, you got a lot of details there. And then the Undercity of Kuras. That's going to be something that is like a new type of speedrun kind of dungeon that they haven't said too much about it, but it sounds pretty fun. So let's walk through this. I also have a few screenshots here, so I just took some from the presentations. Just like, this was in a video and stuff like that. So I have a bunch of these, boss fights here from the Dark Citadel, for example. This is what that looks like. So there's going to be tons of new bosses and things to explore here with the Dark Citadel and new rewards as well. But let's go through it one by one. So let's start with the Party Finder. I have some screenshots of that as well. Looks like this. So you can find and list parties very easily straight through the game. They said this can be done straight through the map. I'm not sure exactly how. Or when you, for example, start a Nightmare Dungeon, then it will ask you or something, or you will have the option to just list it. And it seems like it has mostly like a tag functionality. So you choose, for example, from this drop-down list here, okay, bosses, dungeons, whatever, the Citadel, if you want to do the raid. And then you can also, like, for example, write a little description there, and it will be listed like this, and you can go and find people like this. So this is a huge new feature that they're finally introducing. A lot of people have been waiting for this. And I'm quite excited to see how this will go. So lots of little details they can do there. Pretty cool stuff. So this is what we know about it. We'll see how exactly this will play out, but it seems like it will be console friendly enough through this just drop down menu system and the tags that you can add. There was also another screenshots where you saw that they were competitive and chatty, and I don't know, some kind of tags that you can set for your party, for example. So you can kind of show what kind of group this is going to be, basically. Okay, then for Season 6, so there's a few new details here. So number one, this is not exactly new, but it will come exactly with the expansion launch. So Season launch is the expansion launch. Season 5 will end exactly at the expansion. So all comes together at once. You will also have to play through the campaign at least once. You're forced through the first campaign playthrough, at least the Vessel of Hatred campaign, I imagine. I'm not sure if you also have to do normal, I guess not. But the Vessel of Hatred campaign, this also allows you to unlock those mercenaries that will be part of the campaign when you get the first introductory quests for the first guy, and there's 4 of them, and then there's more quests later where you unlock them one by one, basically. Then they also said there is new character progression updates coming on the level of Season 4 Loot Reborn. So I guess for people that have played before Season 4 and then Season 4 or Season 5, you will have noticed a massive difference. And sounds like it's going to be similar yet again. So they have not really said what exactly is going to happen there, besides that there's something coming for Paragons, but I'm quite excited. And I guess this is also something they're going to show us next week here. And they also talked about opt-in on the challenge you want to experience. It sounded like something like Profane Mind Changes, but for everything. So generally raising difficulty according to your character's power, for example, not just for Hell Tides, but basically anything you do, I guess Whispers, the Kuras, this Dark Citadel, and so on. There was also something here in the screenshots, for example. I think we have that actually in the Party Finder screenshots. There seems to be a mention of multiple Torment levels. At least we saw Torment 1. So it sounds like they are moving towards maybe a Diablo 3 system here with endgame Torment difficulty levels that kind of scale up as you progress and get stronger and stuff like that. I can't find the picture now, but somewhere there it's here. So this might be what they're referring to. Then we have Paragons. They didn't say that much, just a huge overhaul is coming. Put the power into players' hands. I'm not sure what that means, but we do know that the Paragon system is changing. The new max level seems to be level 60, and then there seems to be a Paragon progression after that. We also saw this in some of the screenshots. So I think this is here actually. Let me just check that real quick. For example, here there's like level 59, and then like there's like a blue one here. So it seems like these levels are now separate and not directly, you know, Paragon is integrated in the leveling process instead. It seems like it's separated now. So this is at the very minimum what's coming, and then more overhauls as well. But they didn't really say anything about this yet. Now for the Dark Citadel. So this is the new raid feature. They didn't call it raid, but that's basically what it is. So you go in there with a party of at least 2 people, up to 4. They said it's better to do it in a full party. So it sounds like that maybe just like the HP values of monsters scales up, similar to how dungeons work now. But the mechanics might not scale up. You know, there might be certain mechanics where, you know, one guy has to go and do something while the other guy just blasts the boss or whatever. And in that case, when you have more people, then one guy is busy and 3 guys can do whatever they want. So this is kind of what I expect here. And it sounds like generally you want to go in with a full party, but it might be doable as too. But yeah, this is always like a co-op feature. There will be like mechanics that, you know, what I just described. Maybe one guy has to, you know, maybe, you know, protect the party with like an item, they said, for example, time things, coordinate. So it sounds like something you want to go on voice chat for. This is also integrated in the party finder, by the way. There's like a voice chat button as well, for example. So it sounds like they definitely want you to coordinate and have a bit of like this WoW raid feel, I imagine. We'll see how this will play out. It sounds kind of fun. This first raid, I guess, that they're doing, or I'm not sure if they're gonna do more, but for now there's gonna be like this 3-wing raid. It has like a Khazra theme, the first Khazra or something they call it. And there's a final boss at the end after clearing the wings. And you get some exclusive rewards as well. So first of all, there's like a weekly reward that you can get, apparently different rewards as well per week. I'm not sure exactly how this is going to work. There's also a new currency, the Citadel coins, with a new vendor with scrolls and custom cosmetics, including a scroll of retempering. So you can unbreak your bricks. So that's kind of cool. Let me try to find a few of these screenshots. So this is, yeah, these are some of the bosses here that I showed earlier from the Citadel. So there's lots of boss fights. And then there's the vendor here, for example. So these are these new coins that you get there. And here you can like have some healing scrolls for your party. You can summon goblins, and I don't know what all these other scrolls and elixirs will do. I guess these are also generally kind of party buffs or something like that. Maybe debuffs for the bosses, or, you know, maybe something happens, or they can help you solve a certain mechanic in a certain boss fight or something like that. We don't know how much of this you get. We don't know how important these things are or how difficult this whole thing is. But I guess that maybe on the highest difficulty, it might be quite a challenge and you might want to use those consumables. So that's what's coming here with the Dark Citadel. It doesn't sound like these exclusive rewards are necessarily required to progress a character. So yeah, okay, unbreaking your items is kind of cool, but technically not required, I'd say. And we'll see if there's anything else. There's cosmetics that he said you can get there. So this is, for example, one of these armor sets that comes from the Dark Citadel. And there's more like that as well. So here's like some necro armor, and here's like another weapon and so on. So you can get stuff like that. But since there's a forced co-op feature, I would be very surprised to see this as like a requirement to actually fully build your character, for example. But yeah, they said resplendent and exclusive items. We'll see what that means exactly. Probably a relatively easy way to acquire mythics, I imagine, or like these cosmetics, as I said. Didn't say anything about leaderboards. Then we have the Mercenaries. So there was a lot of info here. So I have a bunch of screenshots as well. So this is like some of these screenshots here, for example, from the Mercenaries. They have a skill tree, each of them. So there's 4 different types. There's like the shield bearer, the bounty hunter, that's like a ranger. Then there's the berserker crone, that's like a female bard basically. And then there's this cursed child, as you can see here right now. It's like a demon. It has like a satyr horns and stuff, and it transforms sometimes and does like some crazy spells. And that's what you can see here. So it has like kind of like a skill tree that fans out a little bit. And for example, here you have like a shadow and a fire variant of this companion. And they have different skills down here. And then like, you know, some passes that they can trigger. It sounds mainly like they will be able to like debuff stuff for you. It's a little bit similar to the Seneschal, I guess. Maybe give you a little buff here and there. You know, put some slow, some CC, put a fire dot. Maybe it could help out Sorks instead of fire bolt enchant, for example. These kind of things. Personally, I don't expect these guys to do any kind of damage, but we'll see. At least in a late game, I imagine they become irrelevant pretty fast and potentially just die all the time. They seem to have a health bar, as you can see here. That might mean bad things for them. And it also doesn't look like we can actually gear them up. So there's skills and rapport. There's no inventory or something like that. So no items for a mercenary, it seems. And this is kind of like the system here. But yeah, there's a bunch of different skills. They showed us a few of them, not all of them. The theme is kind of the same. So here, like, he charges in with a shield and he taunts enemies, and then he gains fortify. So this definitely sounds like they can die, for example. And here he slows enemies that are nearby. And here you get a bit of extra armor when he's there, and so on. So yeah, in general, this is what they do. I guess we'll see more of the details once we have the full skill trees, once it's out. Maybe we're gonna see a few more previews next week as well of what these guys do. Here's some of the abilities. So there's like the ranger guy who basically has probably a better rain of arrows than rogues do. Then here's the barb mercenary that can pull enemies to you. That sounds kind of useful, at least in some cases. Here's the shield guy with the bubble. So he's like a wannabe paladin. And yeah, this is kind of what we got here for our mercenaries. So you get like, a bunch of skill points to spend. I'm not sure if you're going to get more. Maybe you kind of just go down one of the paths, unlock like 2 of those skills, and you can choose, okay, what does the skill do exactly? Does it have like maybe a debuff or, whatever. So that's kind of what we see here. And there's also this report feature. So this looks like this. So this is kind of like this, Mother's Gift reward right now. For example, you use the mercenaries and, do activities, and then you slowly fill out the bar. And as you do that, you get some rewards here. You can rank them up to 10, and then you have like an infinite repeatable reward. And you get, I'm not sure what exactly besides those pale marks, but yeah, you get these pale marks here. These is like a new currency they can use to buy stuff from your mercenaries. So there's like this mercenary den, it's called. It's like a mini town that you unlock, and you can then go to those guys and you can buy certain materials and certain items. You can refresh the inventory of those marks and maybe try to gamble for something really good. I'm not sure if this is like required, but it might be like a nice little way to gear up on the side or something like that. And then there's another feature called reinforcement. So in addition to a permanent mercenary, you will also have the option to select a second mercenary that will reinforce you for a moment, for like, a little time, do an ability and then disappear again when you do a certain thing or when something happens to you. So one example is here, when you cast rapid fire, then this mercenary comes in and does the whirlwind or something like that. And it also was mentioned that, for example, when you get crowd control, this will trigger with a certain cooldown and so on. So maybe there might be like tons of different triggers, and you can kind of customize what exactly needs to happen for the mercenary to come. But this is the kind of like what you can do here. So you can either do it actively or passively. And then sometimes a second mercenary comes in and does some stuff for you. So it's a reinforcement system. And in parties, there will be one mercenary only for the party leader. Yeah, here's some more screenshots of those pale marks. So yeah, you can barter for goods and do trade agreements. And here's like this inventory screenshot. So you can talk to these guys in the mercenary den and buy items from them. So here's some legendaries. Here's up to sigil caches, angel breath, Scanner Prism. And they all have their own like specialties, basically, it sounds like. So yeah, this is kind of what we got here. This is the mercenary stuff. We'll see if you're gonna get more info. But personally, yeah, I'm kind of unhappy about having to use mercenaries. We'll see how impactful they will be. Maybe there will be downsides to having them. Like, for example, they draw aggro when you don't want them to draw aggro, and they can't really make pulls that easily and these kind of things. So we'll see if there will be that required. But it sounds like everyone is supposed to have a mercenary, and they want you to have mercenaries. And last thing, Undercity of Kuras. So this is something they have only just mentioned yesterday, and there was no info in the presentation, but there was info in the blog post. So we have that here, down at the bottom, the Undercity of Kuras. So this is kind of like a, yeah, if you know, for example, the Treasures of Lei Shin or something, or the, what is it called, from World of Warcraft, from Mist of Pandaria. There was like this dungeon where you speedrun through, and then you acquire more and more time, and you basically speedrun against the timer and need to reach the end and open chests on the way. So I really enjoyed that, and it sounds like it's gonna be something like that. So it's like a multi-stage time attack dungeon that gives you control over the challenge as well as the loot you find. So you go through this dungeon, you fight monsters, you raise the timer if you go very fast, and then there's also events that also raise the timer. And if you make it to the end, finish the boss, you're gonna get a lot of loot. And if you're too slow, well, tough luck. And there will be certain items, they're called tributes, that you can find in everywhere, it seems, that allow you to augment those runs, make them harder, get more loot. So there will be like different difficulty levels, and I guess the lower levels will be easier to complete even on slow builds. And it sounds like this is something here for leveling towards endgame content and targeting powerful items to help you progress. So I'm not sure how endgamey this is and how high this goes, but technically it sounds like they could just scale up the difficulty and the rewards quite a lot if they wanted to, and maybe even like fully decked out characters will have something to look forward to here. So it sounds like a very fun mode, but I have not seen any content, any like footage of it or something like that. So we'll have to wait and see what this looks like. But yeah, this is basically all for this summary here. Again, there will be more info on August 29. I thought originally on Thursday there should be more reveals as well at Gamescom, so tomorrow basically, but it seems like there's not much more coming. So this was like all of the stuff that they have previewed now, but it was quite a lot. So for now, that's what we got. In any case, did I miss anything? Other than that, I think this was pretty much everything. I will link the page here, this blog post, and also there is like this Xbox live stream where there was like, you know, some talk and some more info about what they described here. There's like this inside the game video, so we can link that as well. So go check it out if you want to see it for yourself. Other than that, yeah, hope you enjoyed my summary. Bye YouTube, and I'll see you guys next time.